Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Stories from the Unbound Shores. Where we last left off, the group had started making its way from their last campsite back on their journey through the woods, trying to make it to the Forgotten Fortress, or possibly the as yet unknown gnomish city. That, according to their map, mental map, they were able to check once night fell, should be somewhere close by. Within about, a day, about a day's walk at this point. But while they were looking at it, trying to figure out how the thing works, and using it to examine the Forgotten Fortress as well, Al spotted a couple of flame skulls coming over the trees that began attacking them. And after what was a difficult battle, especially for the wizard, who was effectively nullified by these particular creatures, they brought the skulls down and were able to sprinkle some holy water on them to ensure that they would not return. And that is where we left off.
So, we are here in this clearing, having just had Melisari douse the skulls, and they disintegrated.
Yep.
In the tree.
Is everyone alright?
I'm fine.
I'm good, I guess.
Bit of a headache, but I've certainly seen better days.
How hard are you?
I'm a fair bit past. I'm past bloody.
Let's see, what have I got? Is anybody else hurt?
Let's see if I want to.
I'm fine.
I think I'm fine.
I have 10 points
Check
of
myself
hands
over.
left.
Yes, I'm fine. You're going to care of me.
I think I
By the way,
forgot that I
that
actually
is
have
so
more
genius.
lay on hands points than my features page shows me because my equipment increases it. By an amount. Charisma modifier times your 15. I have 15 more points than I thought. Okay. I can give you 10 points.
That would be much appreciated.
Okay. I'm gonna give you 10 points. Remember that I have 14 left. You may gain 10 HP.
I'm no longer bloody.
Nice. Should we sit for a spell?
I don't like that very much.
Okay. Is anybody against taking a seat for a little bit? Just to recoup. Catch our breath.
I would rather spare the time, lose the time now, than get into another fight.
Lose the time now, then lose our lives later? Yeah. Alright. If there are no objections, then let us have a seat in this clearing. Esco's going to select a spot among some roots over here.
Alright.
So wait, is her name Emira or Amara?
Amara. I mean, it's spelled the same way as Amara, but it's pronounced differently.
Oh, okay, because I thought that it was Amara.
Wait, how is it spelled then?
It's on. Can you see it on the token? I can see it on the token.
I can now see it on the token. Had not previously.
It's funny. I can only see my name, your name, and Amara.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sometimes I forget to alter the settings because for some reason nameplates aren't just visible by default. So I will try to fix that in a minute.
And I will just let Amara know that we're going to rest for about an hour, so she should sit somewhere and occupy herself.
Alright.
Roll me some short rest dice.
Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna have to refresh my roll 20 because for some reason it keeps. Wait, nope, it's still misbehaving. Because every time I scroll up, it scrolls me back down for some reason.
Fun.
Do you have something on your keyboard?
No?
Wow, that was wonderful.
Dear. That sounds very.
Well, I did get exactly the number of HP I needed to get to full, so I guess that's good.
Okay.
Rolled a 1 on the first die, though, which felt bad.
Oof.
But not a single hit point was wasted, so I guess it's fine in the end.
Yep. Okay. I need to.
I will be writing in a book.
I am checking one thing real quick, because if I recall, with the addition of the extra features from Tasha's, I believe paladins have something extra they can do on short rests.
Sam, remind me, is the half always rounded down in D&D, including hit dice regained, or is that one rounded up?
I think it's rounded down to a minimum of 1.
Ah.
Yep. Sam is right.
So at this level, we would only regain 2 after a night's rest.
That's not quite. Alright, so to
I don't
remind
see a
you
short rest thing for paladins.
what?
I don't see a short rest thing for paladins, Natasha.
Do paladins get their channel divinity back on short or long rests?
Short rests.
Then this is a different way to use your channel divinity, so it is sort of a new short rest thing. You can expend and use your channel divinity to feel your spells. As a bonus action, you touch your holy symbol and utter a prayer and regain 1 expended spell slot, which can be no higher than 2nd level, according to this. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So, in this case, you can only do this particular thing once a day, but but it uses your
Channel divinity.
channel divinity, which you'll get back at
But
the end of the short rest.
Well, did we get it back at the end of the short rest during which we used it, or are we choosing to use it instead of getting it back that short rest?
Well, because harness the thing that refreshes your spell slots as a bonus action, you can just use it and then take the short rest.
Oh, that's very fascinating. So we have divine recovery.
Yep.
What have I expended? I've expended 1 first level spell slot and nothing else. Well, I guess it's
I have
worthwhile.
expended a 2nd level spell slot, so I will
Yeah.
get that 2nd level spell slot back.
All right.
In Tristan's case, you could, if you wished, if people are still hurt, could expend a second level cure wounds or something, and then recover that. But that is your call.
That's that's true actually. You had said that you were pretty hurt still, right, Dirk?
I am. I was going to spend hit dice to heal over the short after the short rest, but
Right, but if it might take more than 2 rolls, then it could be dangerous and for you know tomorrow. So I can heal you and get my second level spell slot back with this new feature we're being told about.
it seems reasonable.
Okay. Then allow me to do so. 8.
And mind that this is one that, since it's a purely beneficial spell, it can also be twinned by your magic item. So you can also pick a second target.
And that second target be me?
Yep.
8. Do I roll individually, or do both people just heal by the same amount?
We're gonna go with heal by the same amount.
Cool. No, that's fine. I'm just curious. I didn't have any weight on there. I believe it's 2d8s plus 3, my charisma modifier. Well. Cure wounds. Yeah, it's 2d8 plus 3. So that's 12 hit points. Means that I don't actually need to spend any hit dice, which is lovely.
Nice. I will probably just be spending 1.
I had been down by just 10 damage. All that damage I took from Elisari. Oh, Mel, were you hurt?
You already healed hurts.
Okay, I couldn't remember, and I think that you're still a little quieter than everybody else, so I didn't hear it.
Oh, sorry.
One more time, you were like breaking up.
Should I just switch back to the mic?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would. I always encourage people to get new headsets when headsets start falling apart, but
Well, this is kind of a trial run because my dearest bought it, decided he didn't like it, and so I was like, okay, well, let me try it before you just return it.
Mhm.
So,
like as you speak.
I would ask that you switch back for now and would try the trial run with something that's not being recorded, just to make sure audio comes through.
I was hoping that the audio would be coming through a little better, but
So it's like as you talk, it's fine, but when you're just saying like one thing, a short phrase, like yes or something, it's all garbled.
great.
But like with long stuff, then it like evens out after the first couple of noises you make, and then everything's fine. But like with one word responses, I generally can't understand them.
Oh no. Okay. Can you hear me? And I'm not horribly overpowering.
I mean, I can turn you down at this point. You
Yes.
sound fine right now.
Okay. Anyway, so things I have said that may have been missed then.
Mm.
I said that I was, I think, as good as I could be.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was healing everybody who needed it, because I'll survive if I'm down. If I'm down two hit dice. But other people can't heal as easily as the paladins can. So we should be healing other people before ourselves.
Such a very Eskel thing to say.
It's true.
I had also complimented Dirk on his stroke of genius, which now occurs to me that may just not have been heard.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think
Yeah, I did not hear that.
Yeah.
Your advice on where to grab was most helpful.
Yeah, I'm glad.
You've got some reflexes being able to call that out like that, and I didn't peg you as a wrestler?
Of animals on occasion. You know, sometimes you need to feed them things, and it helps to know where to grab.
Where to grab a human skull that's flying?
Not human, but you know, I figure the theory translates. She looks
It certainly
uncomfortable,
worked this time.
and if no one is really going to question her, she will simply take out her journal and begin writing.
I mean, we just don't have enough
Unless
information.
you would like to question her.
Our characters don't know enough about what happened to really, like, formulate a line of questioning that goes deeper than that, honestly. Like, anything else is just meta-knowledge. Which was just a weird fluke, like, wow, good call. For Eskel, anyway.
I mean, hang on. Should I roll deception?
You're gonna make me jealous with that teleportation, Dirk.
I don't know if that was the intended use of the power, but I'm glad that it seems like it can be effective.
It certainly makes you good at pursuing targets of your vengeance.
That is, I believe, the intended purpose.
So I guess we do know.
I don't know if falling on things is part of that pursuit.
No.
But it certainly was effective.
Indeed. Can't argue with results.
You know, it occurs to me I could have said something much more clever, in line with things. No, I guess my explanation really should have just been I had had the thought myself, but realized that I was far too weak to actually make use of it. As I do know, you know, Misty Step.
Mm-hmm. Eskel will be looking at you thoughtfully as you say that, like, interesting. So, Dirk's out of Misty Steps, so if we need somebody to wrangle something that's far away, you could Misty Step for us?
I can certainly Misty Step. I'm highly doubtful on the wrangling part, though.
Are you out
I lean over to Eskel. I'm not out of Misty Steps.
You're not.
That is also
You can do
useful
it
to know.
twice at the end, can't you?
Yes. And I guess technically 3 times a day?
I don't...
With
well,
the-
yeah,
with
with
the
this
divine-
new thing. Divine
Or whatever.
Recovery.
What do they call it? The actual ability is
I call it Divine Recovery.
harness divine power.
So, Divine Recovery, because that name is dumb. I don't know why, I just keep thinking of it, the Bond of Pursuit feature, as separate, or as a non-spell slot thing, that's just like, yeah, once a day you can do this. Like, no, it's just a second level spell, they get it as part of their expanded spell list.
Yep. The only other things like that would be the Vow of Enmity, which is just a channel divinity. That's still once per short rest then, because it's a channel divinity.
How does that one function in this game? I've really never played a Vengeance Paladin in 5.
As a bonus action, you can choose a creature you can see within 10 feet of you and gain advantage on attack rolls against it for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 HP or falls unconscious.
Very neat.
That's useful.
It's just an upgraded version of the old Vow of Enmity, which said that you had the 5th edition style advantage as long as the enemy was not adjacent to any of its own allies. You just always have advantage on it. But you can't move the target, can you?
Right.
Okay, yeah, the old Bow of Enmity could be moved once that target went down. Okay, neat. Yeah, that's a good one to use. You want to crit? You want to hit things with your big sword?
I don't have a big sword.
Axe? Hammer?
I don't have an axe.
God
Yes.
damn it. Be more
We'll get there
dwarven,
eventually.
Dirk.
Dwarves use hammers.
I know. That's why I said that.
I just heard Dirks use hammers. I was confused. Not confused, but, you know, I thought it was a clever joke.
There are Dirks, there are hammers. You might have both. Dirk, do you carry a Dirk?
This Dirk does use hammers, and also, I mean, I think I have a dagger.
I mean, you probably have a knife. It could be a Dirk if you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
In keeping with the theme, mine's probably a stiletto. In any event.
Wait, what just happened?
What?
I zoned out for some of what you guys were just saying because I was talking about sweethearts.
Oh, we were making jokes about what boot knives we would be carrying and determined that Dirk's knife could be a Dirk. And I said, in keeping with my character's theme, mine's probably a stiletto, since I use a rapier as my primary attacking weapon.
That makes me giggle a little.
In any event, it's neither here nor there. We rest in the forests.
Alright.
You had said...
Does anyone keep watch, or...
Al would be keeping an eye out.
Alright, roll me some perception.
Once I find my dice, because I've seemed to misplace them.
Important things, those dice.
You know? They were literally at the bottom of my bag. I just hadn't grabbed them yet. I was trying to find my snack.
Schnick.
My snack.
Stick. Snake?
No.
Snake!
No, thank you. You said perception, Derek?
Yes, please.
Got it. $18.
Alright. You are fairly confident in your abilities to keep watch while the others rest. And while you do hear a few noises, nothing comes close, so you are able to rest peacefully.
Alrighty.
So, after an hour, we'll just round up the gang, say, okay, let's head out. And, we wanted to check on that incompleted tunnel that leads into the city. See if there were any indication of it outside the mountain.
Could you be a bit more specific?
We were informed by the King of Mistal. Mistal, that's it. Mount Mistal. That before the project for the Forgotten Fortress had been abandoned, one thing that they had been constructing was a secret tunnel, and that this lies incomplete, though very nearly, somewhere outside of the city, and might provide us a way to get in with the element of surprise. So I suspect that it was being dug from outside the mountain, and it just needs to be connected to the inside.
Well, that could be accurate. Well, actually, this would be more likely to come from Dirk. Dirk, you would know that while that could be accurate, if it's a secondary entrance, they may have dug it from the inside to the outside in favor of having there not be visible signs of there being a possible point of entry there until towers and defenses were built on that side.
So we have no way of finding the thing.
You don't have a way of being able to tell if it's there, but the blueprints would give you enough of an idea of where it is to where you could try, smacking it or investigating some other way.
Who's got a blueprint?
But we don't have the blueprints. Amelie had the blueprints without telling us.
No, she did tell you. It came up in the discussion with the king. And she did tell you. I looked at the session yesterday.
Okay.
So, one of the things we took from Amelie before sending her back to Mount Mistal would be the blueprints, is what you're saying?
That's up to you guys if you would have wanted to take them, but I don't know why you wouldn't.
He doesn't need them anymore.
Exactly. Anything that benefits us far more than it benefits her or her family, I say should have been taken.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Alright.
So, let's look at this blueprint during our short rest.
Yeah.
Dirk, get over here. I'm comfy. I have roots that I'm sitting on. Use. Share a root with me. So we're just gonna be laying out these rolled pieces of parchment and just be okay. So here's the towers. Here's the main entrance. In here is the bowl, the dome of the fortress. So this over here, I think these lines are supposed to indicate this secret tunnel through the mountain. And so, if we relate this to Amara's Marauders map, then it should mean that it would be about here, that it would lead out.
Alright, let me double check the battle map to see if there's actually any patrols or anything over on that section of the mountain.
Do you concur, my dwarven friend?
I guess to the voice in the sky, do I concur? Since I can't see either map.
Yes. Let me check something real quick. Yes, you would see that the fortress is built into kind of the corner or kind of a jutted out section of the mountain, so that there's the entrance that you were able to find on the map with skeletons and things out front on the southern side of the mountain, and then around the side to the east. Yes, east. No, I've double checked. I am not wrong this time.
The one closer to us.
Yeah.
Because we're coming from the east.
Yep.
Okay.
There are markings for another entrance that should have been fairly wide by the time it was finished, and then would narrow down to a tunnel for into a stable. Let me see. Can I...
Now, the blueprint's just a plan, so it's not going to give us any indication of how complete this tunnel was, correct?
No, but the king said it should have been very close, only at most a foot or two of stone between you and the entrance.
Well, good thing we all brought our pickaxes, right?
Alright, can you guys see anything?
You guys
I
own
see.
pickaxes?
Black.
I see black.
Do you not?
I don't
I
have.
don't believe so.
I have multiple hammers. I don't have a pick.
Lots of
though.
black. There we go. I found the circle of light.
It's
in the bottom right corner.
Right. Oh, I see it now.
And I'm not sure why there's a... Okay, you can see there. I'm not sure why you can see there. I'm
Is there
confused.
an invisible torch?
I mean... Weirder things have happened.
It also wouldn't be a circle, though.
Alright, one
I think
second.
he's
Like,
using circular light.
No,
not square
roll
light.
20. Roll 20 does things in circles.
Oh, it does.
It
Okay,
does
never
the,
mind then.
like 1 2 1 2 for.
Definitely looks like there's walls set up here too, because I can see square cuts in the light.
alright, let me go...
Kind of butt shaped.
If I spent an hour reattuning the weapon, could I turn it into a pick?
You could turn into a war pick, so yeah, basically.
I will offer that as an option if they want more pickaxes.
Woo!
Alright, can y'all...
Yeah, we exist now.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah, that's
so...
Do we?
Secret tunnel.
This is the
Ah.
front entrance over here.
Never mind. Wait, hold on. There we go.
Well,
Okay.
What's going? What's this?
So,
Is that a tower?
if... Let
Is this
me
a tower? Yeah,
get
there's a
on,
guy it.
my...
Okay. Oh my god, he's got a ballista?
Yes.
It's weird how the ballista is underneath the tower.
Where is it?
Yeah, we're just not going to talk about that, okay? There wasn't a way for me to get around that.
Okay. I at first thought it was scaffolding inside the tower. I'm like, that's interesting. And then I saw the bow and I'm like, oh. Wait. Else is going on. Something's suspicious. Secret tunnel.
I roll 20 is giving me fits, so 1 second.
I could be unreasonably glamorous too, Sam. I felt like.
Okay, now it lets me see appropriately. So yeah, that's the front entrance. And there's obviously more mountainside you'll be able to see above it. But, any further in you'll start seeing dungeons, so it's all walled off. And then... I need to move you guys over to the other side. So I'm just
Vroom, vroom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom.
Oops. Okay. So now, if y'all look over here, draw a shape, bright red. Pretty much, the markings show that there should be a thin wall of stone pretty much anywhere along that red line. If you can see it.
Mm-hmm. I see a red line with gray beyond it.
And
same.
Where's the red line?
Right next to all the characters.
I only see me.
What? Do you see not see Dirk?
They see me here. Oh, here.
Yeah, you are pinging you. See that? So you're looking in the right spot.
Yeah, I just don't see anyone else. I see a set of doors over here. Is that what
yeah,
it
I
is?
accidentally clip through the wall, so the fog of war is going to show you the other side.
Fog of war.
So, you know what? It's been a long time since this was installed, so I'm going to say it makes sense for this. If you guys look on the
There's a
map...
line here.
Yeah. So, as I was saying... That's... weird. Okay, I'll have to fix that later. If you guys look on the map, there would have been some time for this section of stone to kind of weather and decay, as it's no longer structurally sound. You would be able to see some small holes in it on the map, and be able to see that there's like grass in an interior on the other side.
So, the Marauders map does seem to indicate, like, something that could be where we would hope to find this thin wall.
Yes, they're combined with the blueprints, you're able to find the right spot to look, and there's a few small holes in the side of the mountain that kind of reveal that there's an inside to this place, to this section of wall.
Are we just going to completely ignore it and called it the Marauders map?
I mean...
I don't know its actual name, which I don't remember.
It was created by the Archmage Gugel. It's Gugel's map.
Feel like I don't get your reference, but I know you're not making the situation better.
Google.
Oh, god.
Since we had already discussed that it's basically Google Maps.
Right. We shall check Gugel's map.
Like what? The map of nighttime wandering or something like that?
The map of nighttime navigation.
Navigation.
That's just a mouthful.
There's so many syllables. So the Marauders map tells us we want to go there.
Accurate, though.
I don't
Harry
even
Potter.
know what you're referencing.
Harry Potter.
Guess I forgot what that when that comes up.
First book.
Third book.
Third book? Third book.
Third.
Harry.
Sorry, the third book was the first book I read.
Alright, so back to the map at hand.
Foot.
And this thing does seem to be, like it's being easily readable anytime we want to look at it while it is nighttime.
Yep.
Cool. Alright. Then that's our destination. That way we don't have to deal with the front door guards, or the backup front door guards, or the third wave of front door guards.
We're still intending to check out this gnome city first.
Did we figure out where it was? Did she look for it yet?
Yes. She looked for it. She looked for it first, and then you guys started tinkering with the map and looking at the fortress.
The fortress was important.
Yes. I'm just kind of recapping a little there. She found it. It's you have to take a little bit of a detour away from the mountains, but still in the same general direction. Like it's still, west of here.
Mm-hmm.
And a section of hills to the west-southwest of where you currently are.
Okay, so as detours go, is this going to be hours or days?
Hours, probably. Yeah, we'll go with hours.
If it's hours, everybody feels good taking Emra there first.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be fine with me.
Much safer than the alternative.
Cool. Then, that's our current destination.
Alright, then can I get a marching order?
I'm in the back.
I'm back-ish.
I'm putting you there by default. Okay, let me see how that matches up with the one I predicted.
Are we playing Mastermind about this?
Oh dear.
No, I just wasn't quite sure what the order would be.
A vexing game. It seems that the only winning move is not to play.
I like Mastermind.
You can win Mastermind.
Not to play.
It's so much fun though.
Alright.
I knew
So-
that it was Codebreakers.
You guys get back on the road, and I'm gonna need a survival check at advantage from Dirk.
Okay. Advantage continues to be nice, because that is a 21.
Alright. You continue to make good time, don't get lost or sidetracked, although admittedly getting lost is next to impossible with the map. And you start to get into, a little bit before daybreak, you start to get into a hilly section of the forest, and you believe you're getting close to where this Gnomish village might be. And I have a map. Blah.
Wow.
Just use, testing out a new intimidation method. You go, "Wah!" before you get fire. Get the jump on your enemy.
To the best of your knowledge, it should be around this hill to the north, as you had to go around some kind of steep hills and things,
Alright.
and are a bit south of its location.
And then
Did I ever history check to find out if I knew anything about this place?
Just ask Amara if there was something we should know. So, yeah, we want to history check that?
Yeah, if you guys want history checks or ask questions, now's the time.
Balls. 15.
15. Alright. As this was not one of your particular topics of interest while you were going from Mage's Tower to Mage's Tower, doing some studies, you don't know much about it. You just know that it's uncertain if the place actually still exists, as no one's heard from them in quite some time.
So Dirk will ask Amara, is there anything that we should know about this city before we go to enter it?
The only things I know about it are that people are unsure if it's actually still there. They were rather secluded before all of this began anyways, so that's why I tend to believe that they are still there, just keeping to themselves.
and probably distrustful of outsiders.
Well, yes, that too. And lastly, there were known to be masters of constructs, or the few groups of people able to create them, and create them in rather large quantities.
Is it likely that they're defending their home using constructs?
It's quite possible. Especially with undead roaming around, they'd be rather effective guardians.
If we fight our way through their constructs to get to them, I don't think it will endear us to them.
And if they're guarding with constructs outside, it means there will be no one to negotiate with before that.
Yes.
Luckily, we have a
That's my
thief
thought.
who might be able to sneak their way in and to negotiate for us.
Are you sure you want me to do that?
If the alternative is destroying their defenses, and thus,
Making enemies of them.
and therefore we cannot send Amara to safety there, then that does seem like the best alternative. But we can see if that will be necessary as we get closer.
And besides, look at all this darkness that you can shadow step your way through without us creating light on you.
This is true. I will do it if I must. But I'm really hoping I don't have to.
Don't worry. I'm sure that if they're this wary of outsiders, someone sneaking in past their defenses will be met with open arms. I continue moving.
All right.
Al would glare.
I just kind of eye Dirk, trying to decide if he is joking or obtuse.
Yes.
As long as you guys are sure you want me to do it.
Unfortunately, I don't see much of an alternative. Other than to completely change our plans and bypass this place.
This is fair. Alright.
Are you actually going to try and climb up that hill, or are you just dorking around there, Tristan?
I mean, I'm just dorking around now that the marching order has been all jambled.
If you guys want to maintain the marching order, you can line yourselves back up and I can move you as a unit.
I like free
Unit.
flow. Absolute unit.
So, are we going, or is she going ahead?
I had been under the impression that we would
Esco, what the fuck?
continue forward together and see what's going on. And if we're in a situation where there are construct guards that cannot be negotiated with, that's when the two of you would go.
What if they simply attack?
Then
Do we
I
run
suggest
and
we
hope
retreat.
that there is a range on them?
I don't feel comfortable destroying their defenses. I
agree.
would say that we should retreat if we begin approaching and don't notice them before they notice us.
Just a question. Would I be given one of the sending stones on this mission to bring Amara to safety, or...
Yeah.
Wait, is Emra going with you? Can she stealth?
No. Just Al would go up.
That's what I thought.
But we can give Al a sending stone, because that's sensible.
Yes, I agree.
I didn't entirely follow. Sorry. This is Ash being dumb.
No, because the way Dirk said it too made it sound like Emra was coming with you. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Why are you guys going south?
Did you fall down too?
That's up, not down.
Did you
He
fall
fell
off?
up.
I threw down.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
It's Dirk's job.
Whoops,
Mm.
I slipped in the mud.
Well, if you wish to continue, please have the party gather at the north before venturing forth.
Perception as we go.
Alright,
Oh.
anyway.
Yeah,
Wow.
I am.
Nyum.
If we think we're close enough that we would potentially see them, I would be actively perceiving to try and see.
Alright,
what's
you
going
may
on.
all roll perception. And please just make a character where you're actually going to be. So if you're running back and forth like that, Tristan, do let me know.
I am not. I just found out that I can highlight my token and then use the arrow keys to move it around. And if I hold the arrow key, it's nyum.
Yeah, arrow keys are fun.
I'm gonna cast detect magic, but I need 10 minutes to do it. But it might assist us. I'm putting
Ooh, I
this
got
party.
17.
Yeah,
My
17
passive's a
perception.
9.
Yeah, my passive is a 9 as well. But I rolled
Okay.
Oh, we're doing perception. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I got a
defaulting to
17.
15, I guess.
Yeah, you'll definitely have 10 minutes to... Oh, I nat 20'd. Shit, nice. That's 23 for me.
That is better than my roll of a 4 on die.
Yeah, I got a 4 on die. Or a 5 on die.
I assume I don't have disadvantage because it's nighttime.
Yeah, it is nighttime. So unless you guys have a light out, you'd be at disadvantage for perception checks because you're just in dim light, basically, because you all have dark vision.
But devil's
Except for
sight.
Al.
Oh my.
Put my nat 20.
Let's see.
But devils. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I guess that's a
13.
9.
None of you spot anything out of the ordinary, and so you just sit there and wait for Melisari to finish casting Detect Magic?
I'm hoping that the casting is going on while Al is sneaking.
Casting is happening. Like, at probably...
I guess I can
As soon
stealth
as we
if you
decide
need
to
me
start-
to.
I don't know where this question, if you need me to, is coming from. That is the only plan we have right now.
Okay! Okay!
But, like-
Jesus!
Dirk was sort of...
So Dirk had said we were moving together until we see what's going on, and if it's someone we can't negotiate with, so if we see constructs guarding something, then that's when Al goes in. That's what Dirk had been going off of the assumption. Not we're here in this general vague area. Now let's send
Alan to
Alan.
potentially figure out where things are.
If that's what we're doing, then we should probably not be continuing forward, and Al should just be going on her own.
I mean, I think that second one is the better plan, because continuing until we see a construct could mean we're already engaged in combat with a construct.
We had that conversation too. And the idea was to retreat if we come across a construct that starts attacking us.
But if we want to stop here and send Alan alone, then sure.
I vote for that one.
Somewhat uncomfortable with that one.
Running from an attacking construct still means that a construct is attacking.
Al would hold her hand out for the sending stone to whichever paladin is closer. Because to my knowledge, both paladins have the sending stones still.
That still gives you a sending stone.
Thank you. Alright. I will let you guys know if I come across anything.
I can detect magic for shit while we sit here anyway.
Okay.
Alright.
1 second. So does Al just run off first, or does Detect Magic happen first?
I'm probably going to be running off first, I assume. It takes 10 minutes for me to cast Detect Magic.
I mean, Al can wait if we feel that
I would
is...
probably choose to wait.
But what good does waiting do?
Oh.
Detect Magic is only 30 feet, and she's not moving from here yet.
Oh. Okay. Gotcha.
I'm mostly casting it to sort of...
Have it ready.
Actually, would constructs give off an aura? I don't know how that works.
Not naturally.
It would depend. If they have something like magic resistance, they might. which is weird because
No.
I understand it's resistance, but it's also magical in effect. So,
Well,
Okay.
you know what? I'm doing it anyway. What else am I gonna do?
all right.
All right.
So, Al, I'm gonna need you to give me a stealth check and a survival check.
Stealth and survival.
Yes.
All right. So that's a 16 survival.
Okay.
Then stealth. 26.
All right. So you're able to quickly and quietly make your way through the dark forest before daybreak.
Alright.
To the GM there. But first, I'm going to deal with the people on this map, and then I'll come back to you if that's all right.
Works for me. I'm going to go make food, so.
All right. If you need to do the other thing you mentioned earlier, this would also be a good time for that.
Okay.
Like that.
All right. So 10 minutes go by, and you cast Detect Magic. So when it first starts off, you will detect magic within your within your 30-foot area. And you can use an action.
My two things.
What?
Obviously, I know my two things. My thing and Eskel's armor.
Yep.
Anyway.
And if you use an action, you can see auras of any magical objects or creatures that are visible.
Yes.
All right. So when you do that, you'll also see Eskel's amulet glow.
Right.
You'll see Amara's map glow.
Makes sense.
And from where you're currently standing, you will see about a 5-foot square section of rock face over here glowing.
I'm gonna inch toward it and say there's magic over here.
Okay.
What kind?
That is a good question. What's cool?
Abjuration.
Abjuration. Is there a creature hiding in this stone face?
Not that you can see.
No, I'm asking that out loud.
You get no response.
I don't know Gnomish, do I? I don't. Does anyone know Gnomish? It is Gnomish, right? That's
Yes.
a thing? Okay.
Are you making up languages again?
Har.
All languages made up.
Try asking it in Draconic.
Oh.
It's made of magic.
Okay, I ask in Draconic. Is there anyone hiding in this stone face?
You receive no response.
No one knows Gnomish, seriously?
Mm-mm.
I'm right,
No,
you don't know
Gnomish,
Gnomish? Planning to seek out Gnomish City?
To be fair, I didn't get much time to study before I left.
Why are you even coming here? No, never mind. Deal with the magic in the stone first.
Safety.
Because it's the only place left on this continent that can teach me magic.
There are other continents.
And I can't afford to get to them.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the thing. Fuck.
Actually, let me check her stat block. There's a slim chance she might know Gnomish. Uh, sources. Sidekick. There we go. Uh-huh.
Has it been 8 hours, by the way? Do I need to recast Mage Armor?
It has been more than 8 hours.
I recast Mage Armor.
She does not know Gnomish.
Should we knock
Bummer.
on the cliff?
I don't know that we want to knock on it. I will slowly go over and I guess put my hand on the rock.
All right.
Nearby, just in case.
Feels like ordinary rock.
Alright. I want to put my hand exactly where I see the aura coming from. And spend 11 minutes casting Identify.
Okay. You may do so.
I will do so.
11 minutes go by, and you identify it. Let me double check
rock.
exactly. Let me double check exactly what identify does. All right. You learn that there are no spells currently affecting it.
So it just feels like rock, or it could be a creature.
It is either a creature or object that has some magical effect to it that is not a spell.
Okay.
And it's not a magic item, otherwise you wouldn't have gotten the information for that.
You said earlier that you detected abjuration magic.
Yes.
So could the abjuration magic be protecting it from being identified?
I want to roll Arcana to see if that makes sense, or if there's anything else I can think of.
Alright.
14.
14. To the best of your knowledge, well, there are spells, and I don't actually remember what school, if it's illusion or abjuration, one of the two, that can block things, like can block most divination spells. However, Identify is one that usually can break through those wards. To the best of your and my knowledge, there isn't a spell that can stop Identify from identifying something, other than, say, Anti-Magic Field.
Is anti-magic field abjuration?
Oh, well, maybe.
Or is it transmutation?
I don't know. I will go check.
Or something else?
But if it was Anti-Magic Field, you would cease detecting magic the second you
true.
touched it.
So you know this is not a magic item, this is not a magic-imbued object, and if it's a
And
creature,
there's-
there are no spells affecting this
Yes.
creature. And there are no spells affecting this item, this wall. And there are no spells that created it.
So
Well, I don't know that spells created it would necessarily be a thing. If say it's a
one of the things that
construct.
Identify says is if the item was created by
I
a
know,
spell,
if
you
the
learn which
item,
spell
do
created it.
constructs count as an item?
Oh, they're a creature.
Yeah. So that's my thought currently. Is that there is a construct in this rock wall.
Maybe the rock wall is.
If only we could speak Gnomish. Hang on.
Or if you could speak binary, maybe that would work.
10110101001001. What did you say about my mother?
I'm gonna try talking to it in Sylvan too.
Okay.
All the languages I'm gonna ask.
So, out of curiosity, do you just stand there the entire time you have to take magic up? Or do you roam around at all, see if there's anything else?
Fuck.
How long does detect magic last? 10 minutes.
It would have had to be done before they identify, but I want to.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it wouldn't have been a bad idea to sweep first and come back to that spot when the 10 minutes were close to up. The question
Alright.
is whether I would have thought of that.
You can roll intelligence if you'd like to.
That's what I'm gonna do.
10 or above.
That's an 18 on die, so I hadn't
Alright.
thought to.
You can see your aura that I set up for you, right?
Yes.
Alright. No, you're also going to have line of sight on something to be able to see the aura on it.
Yeah. Snap back.
Alright. South and east appear to be clear. Alright, as you get there, you'll see that there's another ping of admiration magic, the exact same size and shape on the opposite side of the wall.
You said it was about 5 foot?
5 foot square.
5 foot square. I guess it could be wards? Is that a thing?
It could be, but that would generally be a spell, which you would have gotten with Identify.
Yeah, true. Alright, so it's just...
A gateway.
Kind of. And nothing happens if I pass through it? Go beyond them?
Correct. Nothing happens if you pass through it.
Okay.
It's because you're not.
Okay.
Something different.
I have swept the area, and now we'll begin the identify, I suppose.
Okay. What is everyone else
There we go.
doing?
Mostly passing the time and watching her. Just staying close enough that if something springs out and attacks, can be there to help.
Yeah.
But otherwise staying out of her way.
Amra's going to come up and investigate as well.
Does it appear to be, like, kind of on the rock face, or, like, in it? Or can I tell?
It appears to be part of the rock face.
Part of the rock face.
If you do me a favor and make me an investigation check.
Okay.
Magic.
20.
Alright. After several minutes of keen investigating, you are able to spot the smallest possible seam in the rock along the edge of the magic area.
I gently finger the crack.
Phrasing.
Intention. Don't you dare.
Spicy.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Okay.
Anyway.
Alright, you can trace the crack, but you're going to have a very hard time trying to pry it open if that's the goal.
I'm not. I'm mostly seeing if anything happens. I'm a little concerned about the idea of prying things out of rock when there may or may not be constructs waiting to smack us around.
But
Okay.
maybe it's a keyhole.
For what kind of key?
I don't know, a gnomish kind of key.
Can I...
I just
on that
imagine
note-
that Eskel's like sitting on this rock, like with his chin in his palm, just like throwing his other hand around flippantly, like, I don't know, a gnomish key.
I gently press on the 5-foot square of Magicinus, or at this point, where I recall the 5-foot square of Magicinus to be.
Alright. You do so. And there is the slightest bit of give.
My eyebrows fly skyward. Should I push the other one?
Yes. I look very uncomfortable, but it's a puzzle I need to figure it out.
Alright, so Tristan, can you show me your exact path, please?
Sure, I guess I would have gone here, and then high-fived with Dirk.
I don't see you moving.
Alright, you'll see it.
There we go.
Alright, as you get here, a piece of the rock on either side will break away, and you'll see a red light, and hear a mechanical tone, intruder detected,
Oh,
and
fuck.
roll initiative.
That usually means good things,
damn it.
right?
I mean, I think it means that we got their attention.
We triggered the trap. Do we run? Is this a run moment?
We do need to still roll initiative.
I know.
I got
crap.
2.
I'm
I got
rolling one.
20.
I'm
going
a
last.
wisdom check. My wisdom check was a 14, above a 10. I'm gonna, like, look at the two stones and think about when this happened and go, nothing happened when you passed through it. I say pointing at Melisari, but the moment I passed this gateway, it got
They
mad.
must not like your armor.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
Definitely. Okay. The first time when she says it, there is innocence, and then you say that and she goes, yes, definitely. And you can tell she knows what you're saying, but initially she hadn't thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
A negative.
Alright, so Melisari, what'd you get?
Nat 20. 22 total.
Oh, you put it in for me. Thank you.
Okay.
Dirk, what'd you get? You should have
Dirk.
adjusted it. Aurelion,
Dirk.
what'd you get?
Got a natural 1.
Oh dear. You guys. This is not conducive to running.
Hey, I got an okay initiative for running.
What is your dex, Tristan?
3.
Alright.
4. What in
Okay,
that thing?
That is what you'll see emerging from the stone when it gets to its turn.
I don't like that.
Do I need to roll or no?
No, you're not in this. Sorry.
I figured. It's good.
Wait, was just one of them popping out?
The
Oh, well,
security
you're
systems
standing
are
on the other
racist.
one. Let me move it.
Oh, okay, there we go.
It should technically be there, so.
Unsettling.
Okay, let me check the dex on these things and see.
I guess my path
Okay.
was perfect, because it puts me equidistant from the things that want to hurt me.
Alright, so I'm gonna bump these things down to a 13 as their dex is lower than yours. Tristan, would you like to go before or after Emra?
After Emra, tell her to flee south. I'll make sure that I go after her.
Okay, I will adjust the initiative accordingly. Sending.
Well, we found the constructs.
All right, Melisari, you are up.
I am up.
Suffering look in Eskel's eyes. Yup.
All right, I better take away your aura because you're not detecting magic anymore.
I am going to. I'm going to delay my turn until Emira goes.
You're not, in this edition, you're not able to delay your entire turn, but you can prepare to take an
Okay.
action.
Then I will yell run and prepare to also run behind her. Can I do
Okay.
that?
Yes, you can do that.
Like, I'm not gonna not body block her, but I'm also not gonna stand next to this thing if I can avoid it.
Okay. Emma will go. She's gonna go back the way you guys came. And you may take your prepared action, Melisari. You can move 30 feet.
That's 30 feet, right?
Yep. That is 30 feet. Eskel, your turn.
Well, I don't suppose these boys will be satisfied if I just move away from their area. But we're going to try. Sorry, that zigzag was I had to grab the map and drag it. It was 60 feet total.
No worries. Alright.
I tried to get rid of the zigzag and it wouldn't let me.
Enemy's turn. It's going to go here, and it's going to dash. I also like to point out that did not make an attack of opportunity against Jamel. Sorry, I just moved away.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Thank you.
Move here, dash. Whoa. Would either Dirk or Aurelion like to make an attack of opportunity?
I wouldn't.
I will not.
Okay. Dirk, you're up.
Okay. I am going to.
So, I actually, one second, I forgot to describe these things in any amount of detail. They appear to be constructs, as you already surmised, wielding two large stone shields that had originally been made up as part of the rock face. That were in front of their bodies, kind of, blocking any regular form of detection. But as they move them apart, you can see it has a singular red eye. And actually, I'm going to blow it up big for you guys.
They remind me of the things from Breath of the Wild, kinda. But like a movable version.
But unlike this picture...
Oh, an Armos statue.
But unlike these pictures, they are rather rusted and seem to be having trouble moving.
Bummer.
As I'm running, I'm like, can't we discuss this?
Alright, yeah, back to Dirk.
Okay.
Don't damage them!
3, 4, 5 is moving. I think I'm going going to dash and get to there. And that is my turn.
Oh yeah, I forgot double moving was a thing.
I mean, you can't when you prepare the action, but...
Or dashing, whatever. Maybe.
Yeah, you take the dash action, which doubles your movement.
Yeah.
Ish.
Aurelion.
Ish.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
I just wanted to help solve the puzzle.
10,
Hang on,
15,
Emra
20,
didn't trigger it either?
25,
Correct.
35, 40. By dash, I can get to here.
The only other person that didn't step, basically where Axel did, was Aurelion.
Jesus. Racist gnomes.
Given circumstances in this area, it's
I
not
know.
entirely unreasonable, but yeah.
I know. It's not
Honestly, it's
entirely
more
unreasonable.
surprising that it didn't trigger on anyone who wasn't a gnome.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. So they want friends, just not drow. Anyone but the drow.
Mhm.
If only somebody spoke gnomish.
I speak Celestial.
Speak Undercommon, which is almost...
I'd like to point out, it's speaking common at you.
Wait. It's speaking common? Oh yeah, it said intruder alert, didn't it?
It doesn't
Or
care.
Melisari,
here's
your
a speak
turn.
about it.
Nice intruder alert is gnomish for get out of here.
Gnomish to fuck off.
I think that if it was fuck off, they'd have been fine with me leaving. They're chasing me.
Maybe it's fuck you?
Maybe it's we're gonna kill you.
Ooh, if I... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can get to you.
Hi, high five.
Would you like to be invisible?
I would like to be not here, yeah.
Not here is not invisible. There's
I
a
mean,
difference.
either way. it helps, yes please.
Okay. I'll cast invisibility on you. I have to touch you.
I allow it.
High five!
High five.
Not literally in character, I'm too serious for that shit.
Disappear.
Did you high five before or after casting?
It requires touch, so during.
No, because I was going to say if it was afterwards, it's just you're like...
No, it's
No,
like
so
they
that's
high
the
five,
time
and as soon as their
walking.
hands collide, he just disappears.
Yeah. Actually, it would more realistically be like I grasped your hand for a second and you disappeared. I'm not gonna high five.
But high fives are the best.
Alright,
Sure.
so he's invisible.
But fine, if
Who's
you're not a
wearing the mask?
high-fiving person, then I guess we don't high.
And then Amra is going to run around this bush and hide. Eskel.
So remember earlier when we were fighting the bubbles, and I tied a rope around a javelin?
Yep.
I want to huck that javelin with the rope tied around it up onto this, up here somewhere, like into a branch or something, and then pull myself up to this ledge, if I am allowed to.
Sure, you can do that.
Sweet.
Or in DM speak, you can try.
It's true, I can.
I cannot
try.
prevent you from trying.
So I got a 16 on the attack roll to try and hit something that the javelin could, like, sink into.
Alright.
Nice, because don't you have a -1 strength?
Yeah, I do. I rolled a 15 on die. But I am proficient with it.
Yeah.
If you want to get something up on this hill, do me a favor and roll one more time, because it would be at your longer range.
Well, the second die was higher, so...
Alright, so you managed to land it into the base of this tree, and you can pull yourself up the cliffside.
Second die was a 16, so it was super higher. Whee! I'm gonna just like be not that anybody can see me doing it, which is the good thing. I'm just climbing up this thing.
One thing I need to check. Where is invisibility? Here.
Oh shit, that probably counts as making an attack, doesn't it?
I mean, I'm trying to do something utilitarian, so I wasn't attacking anyone.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say this counts as an attack. I'm trying to see if the rope and spear would still count as invisible, because I don't think you're carrying it.
As long as it's on the target's person.
He has been wearing it or carrying it. Count. So the rope is invisible. The spear is not.
That's weird, but okay. So suddenly, from this square, a rope extends up. Just flies up there magically.
No, a javelin just flies up there magically.
But not the rope.
But not the rope, apparently.
Okay, I heard it backwards then. Okay, cool. So, yeah, a javelin.
You're still holding the rope, so the rope's still invisible, but the javelin's not attached to you anyway, thus it is no longer invisible.
I mean, it's kind of attached to him via the rope.
No.
Whatever. They see a javelin fly up there. That's all they see. If all anything.
Right. Unless and it's they nighttime. Have, like, true sight of some variety.
They might have true sight.
Let me check the stat block on this thing.
Well, they might just have, like, normal sight, in which case it's dark here and they're totally screwed. Who knows?
Alright.
They probably have dark vision. At the very least.
They might have tremor sense, but I can still hope they don't.
Okay. Dirk, you'll see... Well, actually, anyone who's looking at the, constructs will see that they do track the javelin as it's launched. But that seems to be it. They don't... Like, Askel, they don't seem to be aware of your, location.
Booyah! Everything's probably going to be fine. I'll just hang out here until our rogue gets things figured out with the gnomes.
Assuming they're still here.
You know. Assuming.
Alright, so, they will, say, target lost, scanning. And they will make some perception checks.
Why is he your only target? None of us mean you harm. I want to at least try and reason with them. And apparently make them say that they're racist details.
Okay. So, I forgot. Tristan, did you at any point roll stealth after becoming invisible?
I mean, I haven't yet, but I can.
Right.
It wasn't my turn when I became invisible. Oh, I mean, so it is now. But I used my action to throw the javelin. So do I have to wait on that? Because I threw the javelin and then climbed.
For the sake of story, I'll let you get away with it this time.
You want me to roll it?
Yes, please.
I got 6.
Oh dear.
Do you have inspiration?
Please have inspiration.
I have inspiration. Watch me get lower, though.
Good.
I got 12.
That's better than a 6.
Not lower than a 6.
In total or just on die?
In total.
In total. Okay. And then this one will...
I'm not trained in stealth, so I'm relying entirely on my dex.
Alright. The first one will spend its action trying to find you and fail. The second one will spend its action trying to find you and succeed. As it was rolling with disadvantage and got a 14. No, 15 it was. Sorry.
Happens.
Damn it.
It still would have to climb up here, which they do not seem to be built to do.
It's true.
They don't seem to be. You see a pair of springs pop out of the roots. It squats.
It squats. The springs break because of the rust.
It falls over.
Oh. That's just, you hate to see it.
It's going to say, target spotted, and then moving to assist. It's going to move to in front of this rock,
Mm-hmm.
and then position its shields to form a ramp.
Mm-hmm.
It should be target reacquired.
Dirk, you're up.
I cannot be in 3 squares at once to just block it from moving.
There are, however, 3 of us with fighting ability.
Just all of you fill these squares so that it can't launch a ramp. No Tony Hawk today.
Although I do have a feeling it will just bowl us over.
I'm good at dealing with that.
I am not.
Man, what was the racial trait called in 4th edition that made it so that anytime a forced movement
I think
happened,
it was sturdy.
sturdy or like low center of gravity or something like that?
So I will move to there. And
Wouldn't it make sense to just get on the ramp?
I mean, technically that's an enemy square.
Oh,
You can't stop there. Even the friendly can't stop in its square. But it can move
suppose.
through it.
What about getting up top on the ramp
It was called Stand Your Ground.
and walking the path up there?
How high up is this thing?
Oh. To find this thing.
The cliff.
About 10 feet.
Okay, so I could use the ramp to get up there.
Yes.
In that case, I think I will. What do you want me to roll?
Let's go with either athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. Athletics is strength based, so that will be it. That is a 20.
All right, you can make it up there with ease at full movement.
Okay.
This is the square it lets out on if you want to be
okay.
trying to block it.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if there was enough in that one.
It's still about half grass, so it counts.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that is where I am.
All right, Aurelion, your turn.
What speed does climbing take up?
Normally you climb at half speed.
Okay.
I just, jumped.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Let me just double check.
If I were to end my turn in a friendly square.
Not
can't.
possible.
Okay. So just straight up I can't. It doesn't, push me
Yeah.
off to a different thing.
Correct.
You can only end in unoccupied squares. You can pass through friendly squares, though.
Sadly, I don't have the movement for that.
Yes. Which normally he wouldn't be able to use the ramp, but he's not currently seen as an enemy by the construct, so it's letting him pass.
How high did you say this cliff thing was?
About 10 feet.
Oh.
So if you got a running jump at it, you could climb up without losing speed.
Because I get like a 6-foot jump.
Yep, and be adding your height.
I jump. Yeah, at least 10 foot before the jump. I can move 40 feet, so 5, 10, and then I leap.
Okay.
So where do I end up then?
5,
Here?
10. Yep, sorry. Right there, so you use up 20 feet.
20 feet.
And you'll effectively be prone by pulling yourself up onto the cliff.
And then the rest of the 20 feet is just standing up.
Yep.
Okay. So then that's where I am.
Well, sorry, your turn.
There ain't much I can do. I guess I'll just move here, spread my arms out, and say, please let us talk about this. For all the good it'll do.
I think I'm actually going to end initiative here. Because with the way things are going, these things have disadvantage to spot someone who has advantage to hide, and they get bonus. So there's not really another way for this to play out, and you guys are actively not attacking them.
Yep, they're just gonna be chasing me around. I'm fine with them chasing me around while I hide.
Trying to anyway.
I'm going to, well, once you get a successful stealth check, if you don't, I assume that eventually you'd get a high stealth check that they would have trouble beating. Like, what's your dex?
+3. So I get a stealth check +3 normally. Is it normally at advantage? Because I only rolled at advantage because I used inspiration.
I think invisibility would make it at advantage. I'm not sure.
That seems to make sense to me.
I'd have to double check.
Because, I mean, they're not spotting me. They're hearing me because I'm not moving stealthily enough. They can't see me because I'm invisible. Which means that they'll know what square I'm in because of the sounds, but even if they try to attack me, they're at disadvantage to hit, and I have pretty high AC.
Yep. Well, what I'm basically going to treat as I'm going to basically treat as you taking 20. So add in some 3-5, terminology here.
I mean, sure.
So after a few, maybe a couple minutes of shenanigans of them trying to find you, you will more or less lose them, and they will return to their posts.
Alright, so we play Yakety Sax once, and then it's over. Alright, skip over Ash.
And as they go back into the rock, you'll actually see the rock face reform on their shields.
Well, isn't they special?
Well then.
Alright, Ash, you here?
I am.
Wonderful.
Wasn't that exciting?
Super exciting.
I kind of winced a little bit at Eskel's first stealth roll, but yeah, that was lovely.
Rolled a 3 and then a 9.
I mean, hey, I'm proud of you for trying.
I don't have it trained.
This is true.
Okay.
Might want to take some lessons from Al, I guess.
He's got clinkies. Don't forget the clinkies.
Oh, this
I'm
is
not.
true.
I'm at disadvantage. I don't have clinkies. I wear medium armor and have medium armor mastery, so I am actually very normal at stealthing in armor. I'm gonna say good. I'm gonna say normal.
So, Al,
Yes.
you will begin making your way through the woods in hopes of finding this possibly non-existent gnomish village. I believe you had like a low teen for survival and like 26 for stealth.
It was 15 for survival, 26 for stealth.
Okay. So you're able to make good time and move quietly through the forest before daybreak. And after about a half hour of traveling by yourself, you will actually start to see what looks like pieces of a wall.
Okay.
And so, let's see here. Al. No. Just Al. There we go. You there. Balls. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Alright, can you see?
I can see. Do you want to make it visible to the stream by giving Tristan?
Nope, we're gonna
No.
just have him sit this one out for right now.
Alrighty. That is A-okay, fine by me.
As a matter of fact, Tristan, could you send us to the DM closet so you guys can chat amongst yourselves?
Huh. Has to happen one time.
Sadsies. We could have all just muted and deafened. No, that wouldn't have worked for you. Never mind.
The GM closet works fine. I do think that. Oh well, whatever. However he wants to do it.
It's just sad that it can't be recorded that way.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It works fine for me on my game because I'm also the one streaming. I stream and I'm the DM, so I pull them in there, and that way the audience gets the whole story. Waiting for Malachi to write me back about the questions I had.
I just saw my life flash before my eyes.
Why is that?
I hit the bag of Doritos sitting on my desk and it made a crinkle sound and my cat jumped. And I was like, oh my god, it's Last of Us all over again.
Didn't have the cat on your lap when you're gonna be making noises like that.
It's not like I planned to make noises like that.
You got a plan that they might happen, and so never have the cat on your lap ever.
God.
Yeah.
Never ever.
Never ever.
Okay. After jumping from section to section of the player's handbook, it seems to me that if they rely on sight at all, they would have disadvantage. Just kind of feelsing it out.
That's an odd one. The way I understand it, if somebody's hidden from view, but not actually rolling hide, so like if they're in a cloud of darkness, or if they're invisible, if they're not rolling hide, or if you beat their hide check, you always know exactly which square they're in because of the noise they're making. You're still at disadvantage to attack them, because they're invisible, but you always know exactly where they are.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously if you succeed, but the question is whether or not you have disadvantage to attempt to succeed. And my kind of feeling is when you're looking for something, you're relying on multiple senses. Mm-hmm. So taking away one of those senses, especially if you know, I don't know what kind of intelligence constructs might have, but if you don't have the ability to kind of reason out, okay, they're invisible, I need to completely rely on my hearing and like close your eyes and really focus on that. It just kind of makes sense to me that it would give disadvantage.
Yeah, I see that, but mechanically it doesn't. The senses are separate in this, and so, like I said, if I'm not trying to hide, they don't even have to try to find me. They automatically know where I am. Yeah.
But once you are trying to hide,
then it's a normal, but like, I'm not doing anything special to mask my sound, like, except regular hiding, so they wouldn't be at disadvantage to hear me. I'm just now hiding, and they'd be at not disadvantage, to try and find me by sound. They'd still be completely incapable of finding me by sight due to the invisibility, but that's like saying, like somebody who's just rolling stealth, that you're at disadvantage to find them because they're rolling stealth. They're not invisible or anything, they're just stealthing. Like, but you're not. You roll your regular stealth against their regular perception.
Look, the only time the senses are really separated are certain, like, animals and all that have advantage on perception when it comes to
sight or smell.
Sight, smell, or hearing.
Yeah.
You know, so that's when like looking for something with a specific sense would come into play. Otherwise, yeah, it's you don't get advantage or disadvantage based on choosing a specific sense.
The other thing I was kind of going on, I forgot, as I was, like I said, I was bouncing around the fucking player's handbook trying to figure it out. Discussing hiding. There's a little section that says, what can you see? And it says, one of the main factors in determining whether you can find a hidden creature or object is how well you can see an area, which might be lightly or heavily obscured. So that was kind of also influencing my thought on it. But hey.
Sounds like it's all sight-based. But that could just be because people, when they write these things, are biased and aren't thinking of all the things that go into it.
Yeah.
Well, no, fairness. What percentage of your brain is used for vision? Like it's like I think it's like the most brain-heavy sense. So.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that, but I just know that mechanically, it doesn't, to me, make sense to impose disadvantage to trying to find a person who's invisible if they're capable of hearing, and I'm not hiding, and even if I was hiding, they're not at disadvantage to find me by sound. Because I haven't done anything special other than roll stealth, which is what they're rolling against, to try and hide my sound. If I had something, if I had a spell, if you had placed a spell on me that also made me harder to hear, then I would be rolling stealth and they would be rolling to hear me at disadvantage. Or if you had done something to them that makes them harder of hearing, that would impose disadvantage. But like
The only
this is
thing I'd
this
say
is the
about that
difference
is that-
between this is the difference between if I don't roll stealth, they automatically know where I am, and if I do roll stealth, they have to roll to find out where I am. So they don't have disadvantage for that.
No, I was going to say the only thing I'd say about that is that with sound, it can be difficult to pinpoint the location of a sound.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, in real life, but in D&D it's not. Like,
yeah.
in D&D the rule is, if they are not rolling stealth, you know exactly what square they are in. If they are within, like, 30 feet of you or something like that.
Stupid fantasy rules.
It was so much more complicated in 3.5. Look, I know that the reason they wrote this rule is because in 3.5 it was miserable trying to find invisible characters. Because even if they rolled poorly on stealth, and you could hear them, you still didn't know what square they were in. So then you had to guess. You had to tell your DM, I'm going to try attacking this square. And then they'd be like, okay, roll at disadvantage, because you don't know if you're hitting them. And be like, then the DM would just say, you didn't hit anything. And you wouldn't know if it was because you rolled too low, or if it was because they weren't there. So this was just
terrible.
This was just a
There is a middle ground.
This is just a truncation of that. This is just a, let's make this not miserable. If they hide well enough that they beat your perception, you don't know where they are, sorry. You can try to fight them in the old 3-5 way and suck. Or, if they don't hide or you beat their hiding, then, okay, you at least know, you're attacking the right square. So if you miss, you know you just rolled too low.
Middle ground.
God, we fought an Eldritch Knight in 3.5. It was just two of us at the time because the rest of the party had been dragged off fighting something else. And they went invisible and started just dancing around us, attacking us. They had, improved invisibility so that their attacks didn't break their stealth. And we could not hit them. Like, it was just, we were just losing health, healing each other, going down. Like, eventually, I got knocked out. The other person healed me and then immediately went down themselves. So I got back up, and finally their pet, they were a druid. They had a not a familiar, but a animal companion, badger, that finally sniffed out, like it had failed all of its previous detection rolls. It finally succeeded on a detection roll for smelling the enemy out and indicated the square, and I rolled at disadvantage to hit, and I hit and finally took them down. This was the last chance. I had 5 HP left after the heal.
Oh god.
And that was a tough fight because even if they moved, they still got to attack twice because they were using an enchanted falchion that had speed. So if you moved and attacked, you still attacked twice, and if you didn't move before attacking, you attacked 4 times. I took that falchion. I'm gonna use this. You get, at minimum, 2 attacks at your full base attack bonus. It's like, yes. Where'd Sam go?
I was muted. I'm here. I wasn't talking, so there was no, why is nobody responding?
You do usually weigh in on rules checks.
For the invisibility stuff?
We were talking about detecting people by sound.
Yeah, I mean, the invisible just means that you are allowed to make a hide check when you are within sight of a thing.
I mean, it does mean that, but it does also mean that any attacks against you have disadvantage.
Yes, yeah.
That's really 2 things.
Okay, that makes sense. Because the reason I was kind of fighting this so hard is I'm sitting here it's gotta do something to improve your ability to. They can't see you.
Yeah, he's right. It gives you the. Normally, you cannot even roll hide if they're looking at you.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Yeah, that's what the bit saying that for the purpose of hiding, the creature is heavily obscured. So if you are heavily obscured, you are allowed to take the hide action.
Got it.
Yerp. Alright, well, so there it is. Julies. So, you think Al's gonna be able to negotiate this out for us?
I sure hope so. After that, first off, one observation. She'll have an easier time getting there than we would have together.
Yep.
She might be more likely to convince them to see our sides of things than, However, I am less convinced that there is anyone to find, given their state of maintenance.
I mean, the state of maintenance could just mean that they haven't been needed, not that there are no people.
But you would think your primary protectors, you want to keep them up to date, well-oiled, etc., etc.
I mean, maybe, unless you've gotten so used to living your life here and knowing that those things are out there, and if nothing here shows up, then they must still be working.
Here?
You're
gonna trust that in this area?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I mean, if nothing's bothered them, they're gonna become complacent.
Wonder how long it takes for that.
I mean, if they can immediately know that they were triggered, which they probably don't, then I guess it would be short-lived. But I'm guessing that they don't know when the constructs activate. And so, if nothing bad shows up in the village, they're probably just like, constructs are still working.
I was about to be like, can I roll to know if that's a thing? If they would be alerted? If the construct was alerted?
I was like, you're a wizard,
But
you know
there's
that.
no Derek.
I mean, it could be that there's also an alarm, like maybe the...
They have the alarm spell on it as well.
Right, exactly. So whoever set up the spell would know that they'd activated.
Yeah.
Or rather, I shouldn't say would know, could know.
I mean, there was not an alarm spell on the rock there.
This is true.
And there wasn't another, like the ground there being
There was nowhere
alarmed.
else, no.
There wasn't something there that
Correct.
identify or detect magic was.
But we don't know that these constructs, as part of their creature functioning, don't have the ability to do something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like inform somebody else, I don't know, telepathically or whatever, what have you. We know nothing about constructs as a party, so
Yay!
everything is on the table. I like that I have friends hanging out up here with me.
Oh.
I was just gonna sit
I
up
like
here.
to feel tall.
You're a cat.
From
right.
that 70 show.
I do not have a way of getting up there easily, and I am not going to...
You don't want to Misty Step up here and join us? Spend a second level spell?
I do not have a way of getting up there.
Thank you for making me invisible, though. I definitely appreciate it. That would have been, just a lot more obnoxious getting them to stop chasing me otherwise.
Indeed. You might have run out of patches of bush to hide behind.
Yikes. My next move was to go up into this tree and to just be like, well, they might be able to climb.
Don't catch me!
I'm not here, you can't see me. You do not see Grog! Best stealth.
So many good D&D stories. That one's definitely one of my favorites, though.
Put all my ranks in intimidation. But yeah, I was just gonna, sit up here on this ledge and just watch them roll around down below, trying to find me. Be like, well, glad I'm not down there. Then they freaking, human pyramided to get up here. Buttheads.
Well, I guess I'm gonna sit down with my back against the rock face here. and pull out my journal again, because why the fuck not?
Yeah. Got shit to write. I don't really. Am I the only one in chat? Oh. Hey, Dunlap redeemed funny voices. When did that happen? 320. That was a while ago. I feel really bad.
What?
I don't pay enough
Oh,
attention
Twitch.
to the chat, like, because it's all the way on the far side of my far monitor. Like, I just didn't notice that he was talking. I'm sorry, Joseph.
Sorry.
I even tried rearranging, because you can rearrange the workspace in Streamlabs, and I tried rearranging it so that the chat stream was on the left side of the panel instead of the right, so it'd be closer to the middle and I'd be more likely to see it. And it doesn't, it lets you move everything else, but you cannot move the chat stream. Like, why? Talk to him 2 hours later, be like, sorry, Joseph. Man, it's already that late. What did we do?
We
Got chased
talked
around.
about things, magicked about things,
Talked magic about
avoided avoided fighting about things.
What did we avoid fighting about?
Constructs.
Oh, yeah.
And now we are talking about things again. Sort of.
We also avoided fighting constructs. Avoided
Indeed.
fighting about them and avoided fighting them.
Wait, hang on.
Secret tunnel!
Hold on. I'm gonna go back to writing.
You said hang on. I was hanging on. What am I waiting for?
I was thinking about things. I was thoughting about things.
Thoughting?
Trying
Wait.
to make sense of things. About the fighting about, and then we've avoided fighting them. I'm like, wait, but that's what I see now. There is a difference. I hate you.
You said it. I just wrote it down.
No, you wrote it wrong.
You're right. I forgot the S on the end.
I almost wrote it wrong too, though. I almost wrote it the gooting about things.
The gooting. It's probably the right way
It
to
almost
write
like
it.
donut.
I'm gonna sit down and have a think. What do you think's going on in the village of the gnomes, guys?
I think we're rolling a new character.
Oh dear.
Hmm.
I think we'll find out soon enough, one way or another.
You think we're rolling a new kid? Like we're all gonna die?
No. We're not in the village.
Oh.
Full of constructs.
Full of constructs.
And extremely xenophobic people.
I like the, full of constructs that cannot be reasoned with.
Only regarding Drow, though, apparently. Or
Oh.
potentially... Is that the only thing that sets you over? Okay, or potentially Paladins of Devotion. They could have a thing about Paladins of Devotion.
Well, we know that you and Dirk and me and I think Amara all
Correct.
went through the beam. And I was the
also
only
went
one
through.
who set it off, huh?
So Al also went through.
And Al. I mean, I imagine that it's just, like, glyph of warding kind of thing, where it just responds to race.
You're familiar with glyph of warding?
I mean, me, Tristan, imagine it's basically just glyph of warding.
Yeah, I thought we were having this conversation in character, so...
I mean, me, Eskel, is also familiar with glyph of warding because I live on the Isle of Heaven, where there is nothing but magic.
There's not an insignificant amount of magic amongst all of the...
No, I cannot cast glyph of warding, but I do have a, word.
Familiarity?
Not a familiarity, just a basic level of knowledge.
The cookie jar in the
awareness
group, like in the like shared kitchen area, was glyph of warding.
Oh goodness!
Look,
I love it.
that half-orc kept stealing all the cookies. Lars, that was his name. I forgot his name for a moment.
The microwave was arcane locked, and the password was "This is not fish."
What?
You're not allowed to microwave fish in the company
okay,
mess.
So the like
what stops
phrase
you
to
from lying?
unlock your paladins.
A not insignificant number of us cannot lie.
Fine.
The password to use it is "This is not fish." Look, there's a lot of different people learning to follow a lot of different gods, and there's a lot of magic there, so certain rules need to be laid out, otherwise problems occur.
Okay, but here's my thought now. Could you, as a paladin of devotion, have someone lie to the arcane lock for you?
You could, but as a paladin of devotion, you probably wouldn't want to. Like, it's not only that you're not allowed to lie, it's just that as a person, you don't want to lie anyway.
I know. But say you really had a strong craving for fish, could you forgive yourself in that instance?
Could you forgive yourself? Maybe you could forgive yourself, but could your god?
I hate fish. I wouldn't.
I mean, would the other paladins forgive you?
No. There's a reason that's the password. Like, even if you give it to somebody else, now they're staring at a fish going, do I lie to this microwave?
If you are reciting the password and it's not fish, are you technically lying because you're just saying the password? You haven't been asked what you're putting in. You've just been asked what the password is.
We're getting into that letter of the law versus the spirit of the law debate again.
I wasn't paying attention. What?
Oh, they're back.
Welcome back. Are you alive?
After about an hour and 20 minutes maybe from when Al departed, you will see Al and an owl, a gnome, and a large construct come back this direction.
L, a gnome, and a large construct. No, Eskel's definitely not still invisible.
Yep.
Does it last an hour? If it doesn't last an hour, then I'm not.
I mean, it does last an hour, and you cast detect magic, and then you cast identify, and then
So
stuff
20
happens,
minutes.
and then you cast it. So if it's been an hour and a half,
So you got
You
like
could be
5
invisible.
minutes. You have like
Wait,
5
how
minutes
long
of
is it?
invisibility
An hour?
left.
it's an hour. It's an hour concentration. So I mean, like, if you had wanted to drop the concentration when things seemed safe, you could have.
Can I still write in my journal if I'm concentrating on keeping him invisible?
Yes.
Okay. I'm thinking, like, Logistically, probably not, but I guess mechanically, if that's fine, then that's fine. Sure, I'm keeping him invisible unless he requests to not be invisible.
Yeah, concentrating isn't all of your attention. It's just enough of your attention that you can't do it twice.
Yeah.
Because you can still cast other spells, which is a complicated action, while concentrating on
Fair
it.
enough. I'm going to definitely keep him invisible.
Alright. So, you just see them... Oh, no, if it's been longer, then I guess I'm visible again anyway.
Okay. Well, I'm glancing up in the direction I last heard your voice and trying to look pointedly at you.
What? What did I do this time? I've just been sitting here for an hour.
I glance pointedly toward the people approaching and pointedly back at you.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna sit here.
Oh my god. I rub my forehead and prepare for the approach.
Jerk. Go down and meet our guests.
So is this who you spoke of? You'll hear the gnomes say to Al as they walk up.
This is... She would be pointing them out as they approach. Melisari, Dirk, Aurelion, and... Emera. Where's Eskel?
I'm just gonna... I just shake my head very slightly.
Al would raise an eyebrow.
The gnome's going to look somewhat grimly. Did you have a less than pleasant outcome with the defenses?
I sure as hope not.
Have you two already spoken about Eskel?
Yes. I have mentioned Eskel.
We had a slightly less than pleasant encounter. However, everything worked out well enough. You'll notice they are back in the rock where they belong.
And undamaged.
Al would
Other
jump.
than the ravages of time.
Yeah.
We don't often use this particular path, so we haven't been out this way to make repairs in a while.
So, I say somewhat expectantly, will Amara be allowed to stay with the gnomes while we complete our mission in the area?
This was a conversation I've been trying to have.
From my understanding, he wants this girl, he points at the tiefling, to be able to stay in our city. I am uncertain as to what it is we are supposedly gain from this arrangement.
I believe that is her job to make the case for where she should be able to stay.
Yeah.
We are simply here to deliver her safely. She said she'd be able to stay.
Ian.
Did she?
Well, she said she wanted to. The assumption is that she'd be able to.
If she cannot, then we will have to find other ways to keep her safe when we do what we need to do. But if she wishes to stay, I imagine that she should make her case.
Put it this way. The rest of us had been hoping that it would be upon your grace that she would be allowed to stay while we went to deal with the undead nearby.
Yes.
I told you.
The task made much easier by not having to safeguard a young woman.
Untrained in combat.
I was informed of this. However, if we take her into our care, and then you run off and die, as I expect you will with your desired target...
You know of him, then?
I know of the place, and I know of the creature, but only just.
He didn't believe me.
That we were going to fight him?
That you were going to win. Well done.
I never mentioned
intend to.
anything about winning. That was your assumption.
I mean, he wants us to win, because if we don't come back and collect the girl, in which case he's stuck with her. Is that not the point you're trying to make?
That is exactly the point I'm trying to make.
Is there so little room in your heart for one more mouth?
I'm certain that she could find ways to make herself useful to you.
She
I
has
will glance at Emra.
She has the beginnings of training in magic. And she is a quick learner.
I'm going to be blunt. Our city has seen better days. It's been running into some problems with elementals. For some reason, they are upset, to say the least, and have been sieging the city. So, while we could take her into our care, it may not actually be safer than her staying with you. And furthermore, more mouths to feed when it's hard enough gathering supplies for what we have right now is not a small task.
Is it possible that your creation of these constructs is what has upset the elementals?
It is possible.
And your constructs are not capable of defending you from these elementals?
We can deal with flame, water, and earth. However, the water elemental,
Wind?
But however, the air elementals are a particular problem. As our constructs, especially the larger ones, are immune to non-magical physical attacks, along with fire. However, lightning is something they don't deal with well. We've yet to find a way for them to not get overloaded when hit by such attacks.
Indeed. Have you tried negotiating with the elementals?
Do you happen to speak Primordial? Because none of us do.
Damn it, I could've!
You speak Sylvan.
Sylvan work for elementals?
Well,
I thought it was merely the Fae. Primarily, anyway.
It is primarily the Fae. There might be some elementals that speak Sylvan, but to the best of my knowledge, and this is the DM speaking, most speak Primordial or one of its dialects. That being Aquan, Ignan, something like that. Terran.
Orin, Terran, Aquan, and Ignan. And they're all derived from Primordial.
I chose wrong.
I don't know. Does anybody speak one of the elemental languages?
Sylvan is the closest I get.
My brain went into...
However, I do know the spell Comprehend Language, and while it would take, believe about 10 minutes of them presumably yelling at me, I could then speak to them. Oh, no. No, never mind, I just couldn't translate.
They can
speak to me. I lied.
Tongues
But if you have tongues, then you can do both.
Which I do not, sadly. So, that is a resounding no.
I speak Celestial.
And I speak Abyssal.
I can see says the disembodied voice on top of the hill, that you are attempting...
Has it not been 5 minutes
I
already?
have no idea. That you are attempting to hire us to deal with your elemental problem in exchange for taking in the girl. But I do not know that us going out and attacking these elementals will solve your problem and not make it worse. Because even once we have a skirmish with them and potentially drive them off, we then have to leave to go deal with these undead. What then if they simply are angered and come back again, and not truly defeated? We need to find a way to more permanently solve this.
I don't need them dead. I simply need them sent home. As I'm not sure what brought them to this plane, but I don't believe them to be native. Do any of you know banishment?
Is that like a 5th level spell?
It's a 5th level spell.
Fourth. It's fourth.
4th?
Well, none of us are 7th level, so... Which is the lowest anybody can cast a 4th level spell.
Well, if we go to defeat the Death Knight, by the time we get back, maybe one of us will be able to cast banishment.
Woo!
I'm not saying this in character,
So,
Oh, it's true.
just to be clear, but yes.
well, yeah, that would have made things easier. We have a wand of banishment. However, none of our people are hardened warriors. We have relied on our constructs.
What is the Wand of Banishment?
It is a wand that can cast the spell banishment. It's fairly simple. Has a number of charges a day that it will replenish at the start of the next day.
Dirk?
But none of us have been hardy enough to be able to get within striking distance. And it can't be used by our constructs.
Air elementals fly.
Bippity boppity banish. Oh goodness.
You're awful.
I thought it was good.
I liked it.
Anyway,
My former friend Sam.
Ouch.
how many elementals are you typically dealing with at a time? If the wand only has 3 charges per day.
How do you know that?
Oh.
They only
I
said
said
a
a
certain
few,
number.
Character.
I said a few, which could be interpreted as 3, but
Okay. Well, regardless. Are you dealing with more than a few elementals? Can we reasonably banish them all with this wand of banishment?
it's possible. Although you would need to try and take them on in as few numbers at a time as possible. Because the only way to keep them out permanently is to maintain concentration on the spell until it completes. Then they would have to find their own way back to the material plane again.
Wonderful.
When did these things start appearing?
A few years ago, we were able to hold them off for quite a while until the air elementals began arriving. I've only ever seen 2, there may not be more than that.
How regularly do they attack? I mean, this is a long time to be under siege. Years.
They attack once every couple months. So not frequently, but they attack strongly when they do.
Just a big battle?
For the most part. They destroy our walls, attack our workshops, so you could be right that it is the constructs that they dislike. However, it is our only way of staying safe from the undead and other invaders.
Yes, of that I'm aware. With these battles, they conclude when the enemy is destroyed or routed?
Some of us, like some of our constructs can fight back and can displace them for a time, but they're not destroyed. I'm not really sure of a way to destroy an elemental.
Do they fight to the man?
No, they often run once they have been fighting for some time.
So,
Either that or once they've destroyed our workshops.
so these attacks occur once every couple months. Are we to sit around until they attack in order to banish them, or do we have to seek them out? Do we have any way of seeking them out?
Or do you know that an attack is soon to come? And by soon, I mean today.
I don't know if there'll be... Well, there could be one today or tomorrow, but there should be one soon.
Set your water clock to these guys.
I'm not sure soon is certain enough.
Are there elementals about now? You see them gathering? Is this why you believe an attack is soon to come?
We have some clerics and some wizards, as they are needed in the construct creation process. So we have access to some magics to try and predict when they are going to arrive. But most of our people still don't know combat magic.
So you've been
And even if they
divining.
did, yes, and even if we did, they're elementals and often resistant or immune to any element we can throw at them. The only thing that we know of that works is magic missile, but that takes significant numbers to quell the enemy.
Indeed.
Are there casualties when these elementals come? Or do they only destroy objects, buildings?
They destroy those who get in their way or who attack them. But non-combatants who stay in their homes are generally safe.
Is there no way you can relocate?
It could be possible, but the only civilized structure of appropriate size for what's left of the town anywhere close by is the Forgotten Fortress. And as you well know, it's occupied.
Well, I believe we are soon to alter that state of affairs. Mel, is there any possibility that you and I could go try to talk to an elemental? Even if we have to speak common, we can at least understand what it's saying. If you use your spell, maybe we'll learn something?
It's worth a try, I suppose.
We can at least hope to get a better idea of why they're upset.
And And hope that they don't try to kill us in the 10 minutes that I am casting Comprehend Languages.
How long does it last after you cast it?
An hour.
Maybe cast it before you arrive?
I need to hear it in order to cast it. Or in order for it to work, I suppose. More accurate.
But doesn't that happen any time after it's been cast? Oh, you mean the 10 minutes you spend listening?
I need to hear it. Oh, hang on a second.
No, once the spell is cast,
Oh,
you understand
I
spoken
misread
language.
it. Yes, okay. I misread it then, yes. Sorry. Scrap
Okay.
that.
I was pretty sure it's
I could do
that
that.
spell that lets you just instantly understand.
I had read it as you can understand the literal meaning of a spoken language that you hear while you're casting it. That is clearly not the case now that I'm rereading it. And
While under the effects of the spell.
yes.
Alright,
understand
so
now.
we can cast it in the village and then find ourselves an elemental to get yelled at by.
And hope that we find one within an hour. Or else I have to recast it again for another 10 minutes.
Well, they've told us that they've got diviners that tell them when attacks are coming. Maybe their diviners can also tell us where an elemental is going to be hanging out.
Well, we can certainly hope.
Fingers crossed.
This is so far the best plan we have, so might as well.
Alright. We are going, as long as everybody else is okay with this, to try and figure out exactly what the problem is, and then we will determine what kind of solutions we might be able to offer, or what solutions we think you should implement. If one of those is acceptable, will you watch over our friend, Amara, until we return from the Forgotten Fortress?
I glance at you out of the corner of my eye at the word friend, but make no comment.
That seems perfectly reasonable.
Okay. Then we have an accord.
Can I roll something to reason out whether elementals might also be racist?
You can roll, I guess that would be nature?
That is a 13.
Alright. You know that elementals, when they are on the prime, material plane, are generally used as, act as forces of nature. And not particularly counting what someone's race is, more their actions and what they are doing, if it's seen as a...
Just making sure.
Humanoids are humanoids, they're all in the way. So I assume I'm no longer invisible. I'm going to say, while we are figuring this out for you, I'm going to need you to tell your constructs that I am free to come and go. I'm here to help.
Well, as long as we have this deal. Never thought I'd see this day. He's going to lean down. Need to place a mark on your forehead.
Right? On my forehead, on my skin, or on my helmet? How visible does it need to be to the constructs?
Let's do both just to be sure.
I hand them my helmet first.
He'll place a kind of rune-looking symbol on the helmet. Perhaps some ancient form of Gnomish, who knows?
Just looks like a big L.
And he said, alright, now for you.
Very well. I'm going to take the helmet back from them, and while holding it under my arm, just kneel down, bending toward them. What are they making the mark with? Paint?
Yeah, they have what looks to be a special, like, kind of paint kind of thing. Kind of paint/paste.
Got a mark on my forehead like Simba.
And they will place the mark on your forehead. Now, let's test it out while I'm still here, as I can give these constructs a verbal command to back down should it not function.
I'm gonna just move up here.
Alright, as you step there, nothing happens.
Al would just say, well,
Well,
this seems like a bad idea.
Actually, it would probably be something along the lines of exception identified.
I glance back at Al and say, I'm not sure anything we have done today classifies as a good idea.
This is a fair point.
I would like to point out that we could have gone straight to the Forgotten Fortress, except that you wanted to get rid of Amara. So this was me agreeing to that.
Get rid of is a harsh term.
You're right.
For her own safety. And ours.
I was going to say, I never said get rid of.
Hey, I've been helpful. I dealt with that flaming sphere thing.
I said I never said it.
I don't think I caught the name of this gnome.
Oh.
It's Nick.
Sorry.
Nyx?
I was gonna say, I don't think we actually introduced ourselves.
Al pointed
I'll introduce
you guys out as they were approaching.
Yeah. You introduced us, but never said their name. Because you immediately asked where Eskel was, and that changed the conversation.
Out of character, I never promised Al would be good with wording and shit.
Nyx. Very well. I'm Eskel, as they said. And we are going to do our best to solve your problem, but you must understand that we do have a larger issue that we will need to go take care of, and we are on a timeline for it.
I see.
How much time do we even have left in that timeline out of character?
Days? I think. 1 day? 2 days?
I think it's 1 to 2 days, I believe.
You will let us know when we have reached the time where we must leave this place in order to get to where we were going on time, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. 3-minute warning.
Alright, so I guess we will call it there.
Indeed. Next part is just a lot more, talking to NPCs and searching for an elemental. We can start that next time.
Into the unknown.
Into the
I was
unknown.
really hoping to attack the constructs.
Yeah.
Or let them attack Eskel.
Alright. So, until next time.
Yep.
Just a quick question for Derek. Did I show up when they were, like, did I show up in the city about the time they were fighting the whatever the heck they are?
No, it would have been a bit after that.
Shit. Okay.
You were gone for like an hour and some. I only got chased around for like 5 minutes.
I mean, this is true, but...
And that was after a half hour of,
Yeah, spellcasting and shit.
Yeah, spellcasting and also shit.
I hope not actual shit.
I mean...
Everybody poops.
Did you shit yourself a little when they came after you? I prestidigitation your pants.
I have nothing to... Ah, that's better. I still have my pride.
I am making no judgments.
Okay. Alright, I will end the stream then, Derek.
Yep.
Bye, stream.
Good night.
Hi, stream.
So long.